Oh yes indeed, I am finally going to unbox this beautiful object, Doctor Who Season 10 on UK Blu-ray. You and I are going to open this box set up together and examine every detail, including the animated menus, and then I'm going to show you a little bit extra from the special features. Let's do this! Hi there, you Egyptian magician. I'm Jason Arnott, the author of The Last Days of Jack Sparks, Ghoster, and some Doctor Who stuff. If you're new here, you might want to hit subscribe, or you might just want to wait and see how much you like the channel. The choice, as always, is yours. I had intended to do this unboxing video for the day of release, but life kind of got in the way, and so instead what I did was a video that focused on the Third Man documentary featuring the likes of Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a card to it up there. As I said, I've been dying to open this box set and watch it, to the extent that the other night I went to my shelves only to realise that I hadn't done the unboxing video yet, and so I couldn't actually unseal it. Oh, Perils of being a YouTuber, eh? Oh yes, first world problems and no mistake. Anyway, it is time. It is time. Let's open it up. Now, don't forget to keep watching till the end of this video, because I'm going to show you another scene from one of the special features in this set. How do I normally do this? How do you do this? I guess maybe a little pair of scissors could be handy here. Yes. Something ceremonial, isn't there, about unsealing something like this that's such a special item. I've got a slight dint or divot or whatever the correct word is there. So let's have a look. But that doesn't matter too much. I swear I'm not going to obsess about it. I will not obsess about it. Oh, it's out. Finally, it is free. So, here's something I would like to hear from you in comments. You see this extra kind of bit of card here that the box set sits in. When you put this on your shelves, do you keep the set in this card holder, or do you take the set out? Tell me down in comments. Tell me the reason for your choice too, if it pleases you. Okay. Now, obviously we've all seen the back of this because it's visible from outside, but I like that illustration. I'm hoping that that's repeated inside. Slightly larger. Really nice list of special features here. Doctor Who and the Third Man, the new feature-length documentary covering the Pertwee era. As I said earlier, I did a video about this with a few clips featuring Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, so you might want to have a look at that video if you haven't seen it already, obviously after you finish watching this. Oh yes. So this comes out of here. Are there any other details to have a look at on this? I like that. That's a nice little detail, nice little bit of extra illustration. Now what is that there? Oh, of course, it's the house. It's unit headquarters, isn't it? Going into the black hole in the Three Doctors. That's what that seems to be. It's tiny. Look at that. Now, one thing I've noticed, incidentally, is that this box set is thinner than its predecessors. I'm not sure why that might be. Does it have fewer discs? Perhaps that's true. Maybe that's true. It's nice. These things are just reassuringly weighty, aren't they? They could almost be a Cluedo murder weapon. It's Colonel Mustard in the drawing room with the Doctor Who Season 10 box set. Yeah, that would work. Ah, there we are. There's that illustration bigger, and you can make out the house a lot better there. Right, let's see what's inside. Actually, before we do, let's take a closer look at this illustration, because it's gorgeous, and this is by Lee Binding, who is obviously the right man for this job. He's created such a unified vision for this the collection range. I love the way that all these disparate enemies here are put together and given this lovely gold sheen as if they're in the same story. That always appeals to a fan, doesn't it? Always. Omega's looking great there. A few Daleks, lovely. And a Draconian, of course, and an Ogron. Oh, and the Doctor. Let's not forget the Doctor, for God's sake, with his lovely sonic screwdriver. And I like the fact that here there's just a hint of the title sequence, isn't there? Ah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really like this bit. I think this is really nice because it didn't really have to be this elaborate, this box set. The BBC could have made it less elaborate and we probably would have been happy with it because we would have been happy with the content. But no, they've gone the extra mile with this folder here, and I think that's lovely. Now, I believe that this image is from the planet of the Daleks, which, whisper it, I still haven't seen the planet of the Daleks. But I will, and I might do a video about it actually. If I do make that video, you'll be the first to know, provided, of course, that you hit subscribe and the little bell notification next to it so you get a notification. So, let's have a look inside this folder. Exciting. Oh. Yes, there we are. I knew that illustration wouldn't just have been thrown away on the back of the box set. Ah, that's lovely, isn't it? The first Doctor on his little TV screen. So nice. I like the fact there's a kind of a reimagined gel guard in the background there, isn't there? It's a bit of a shame actually. If I had one, not criticism, but regret about the cover image, it's the fact that, unless I'm very much mistaken, there's no gel guard. There's no gel guard there, is there? No, can't see one. Anyway, never mind. Maybe I like gel guards more than the average Who fan, who knows? Looks pretty cool there though. Okay, so what is inside this? It's the same image. Nothing wrong with that. And of course, when we remove this, that's a really nice console room, isn't it? Classic. Let's have a look at this leaflet. As usual, it's a really nicely produced piece of work. Obviously, I'm not going to read this whole thing now, but so let's just have a flick through this, show you the pictures more than anything. And obviously, there's a guide to the special features of each individual story. Oh, there's a lot of stuff for the three Doctors, including this look here at the life of Lenny Mayne, who directed the three Doctors. And also, that's interesting, interestingly, there are also deleted scenes from this Looking for Lenny documentary. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's one of my favourite moments in the Three Doctors. I'm planning a 10 things to love about the Three Doctors video, and sneak preview. That moment will definitely be in there, because that's pure horror, isn't it? Omega realising he's nothing. Oh no. Oh, I'm always in two minds about this kind of thing, this kind of behind the scenes shot. It turns out that inside these gel guards, these creatures who I thought were actual aliens, was some blokes with big eyes on their foreheads. Can't say I like that. Let's just pretend we haven't seen that. Yeah. There we are. There's the gel guard. It's real. Carnival of Monsters on disc 2. Lovely, lovely Drashig there. I love these notes. This is fantastic. It really adds a whole other layer to the box set. And once again, the BBC didn't have to do that, I would say. I submit to you. They didn't have to do a booklet like this with this kind of detail. And yet I'm really glad they did. Very glad. Frontier in Space. Now there's a story I'm really looking forward to watching that again. Because it's a real monster fest, isn't it? Real monster fest. That's a nice little collage of images there. Yeah. at that beast. I can't remember what that creature is. It looks a little bit like Erato from Creature from the Pit's cousin. Planet of the Daleks, which, as I mentioned earlier, I haven't seen, but I will. The thing is, though, it's really exciting having a Pertwee Dalek story to watch that I've never seen. I don't know, it's like a little time capsule waiting to be opened. Classic image there. That was on a Target book at one point, wasn't it? And the Green Death. Classic. I haven't seen this for a long time, and so I'm looking forward to going back there too. Maggots. That's nice, isn't it? That could have been a bigger image somewhere, I think. That's really nice. And the bonus disc with Doctor Who and the Third Man. Oh, 2 episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures. I didn't know this was on there. 2 episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures featuring the return of Jo Jones, who was, of course, Jo Grant. Includes audio commentary with Katie Manning and Russell T Davies. That is the stuff we want. That is the stuff. Yeah, that's really nice, isn't it? Really nice. Now, let's have a look at the disc designs. Yep, the 3 Doctors, keeping it simple, classic, iconic. All you need really on the 3 Doctors disc is 3 Doctors. Although a gel guard peeping over each shoulder would have been nice. Just saying. Not sure if those are necessarily the ideal images to choose from Carnival of Monsters, but obviously it's only the disc, it doesn't matter too much. It's not really supposed to represent the whole serial exactly, is it? Yeah, I haven't seen Carnival of Monsters for a while. I think that might have been, it's possible that was the first Pertwee story I ever saw, Carnival of Monsters, because it was part of that repeat season, wasn't it? On, I don't know, what was that? BBC Two, was it? Was that the same season that had the Crotons in it? Let me know down in comments. Give me the information that I should have Googled for myself. A nice draconian with the Doctor. This is the kind of image that looks like it was from a Radio Times shoot or something. I don't know, maybe it's just from the serial, I'm not sure. But you know that Radio Times shoot where it had all the various, it was like the 3rd Doctor on the moon or something, the way it looked, didn't it? And it had him with a Sea Devil and a Draconian and a few other assorted characters. Planet of the Daleks. I don't know why I'm taking each of these out actually, but I'm going to run with it now. Yep, classic. Doctor faces Dalek. Works. Always works. Never doesn't work. The Green Death. I don't know if that's the image I would have chosen, frankly. But it's nice to, I guess it is nice to highlight the 3rd Doctor and John Pertwee's comic side. And as Stephen Moffat noted in the clip that I ran in one of my videos from the Third Man documentary, it was interesting that, you know, this guy with this actor with a comic background was hired to become the Doctor and became one of the more serious Doctors, but also had time for moments like that. And there we go, the bonus disc is simply, I really shouldn't remove discs like that, should I? There we go. I think you can see that anyway. It's just the TARDIS, isn't it? Gorgeous. We are happy with this, aren't we? Are you happy with this? If you're not happy with this, tell me down in comments. And if you are happy with this, you know what to do. Tell me down in comments. Let's have a look at the animated menus for each disc. Let's go. Right, so here is the special animation which we'll find on, I believe, but we'll check. All of these discs has the same animation, but it's a really nice animation, isn't it, of the 3rd Doctor's TARDIS showing us around with the 1st Doctor up on that monitor screen. Yeah, it's very nice indeed. Let's just take a look at that for a while. Look at that switch. That's a classic Doctor Who style switch, that. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. We like it. So what I'll do now is show you. Let's have a look at the special features on this. Ah, yes. Making of documentary. Behind the sofa. As usual, this Gogglebox style extra has two teams of people watching the serials and responding to them. This time it's Katie Manning, Richard Franklin and John Levine on one team, and then on the other team you've got new Who producer Phil Collinson and two 2018 season writers, Pete McTeague and Joy Wilkinson. Then you got Looking for Lenny with the aforementioned documentary about the director Lenny Mayne. You've got the Looking for Lenny deleted scenes, clean opening and closing titles, alternative opening and closing titles, BBC Trails and Continuity, Blue Peter, Nationwide. There's a couple of bits of lovely nostalgia for you if you lived through that era. And then BSB 31 Who Highlights. Now this was something that happened in September 1990. It was... is it British Sky Broadcasting? They had some kind of factual magazine type program over a weekend of Doctor Who, and so these will be the highlights from that. And rounding off the special features here, you got the photo gallery. Now let's have a look at the next disc. You know, the only thing I don't like about these discs, and it was the same thing that I didn't like about the old DVD range, is they take forever to load up. It literally is, well, it's a minute or two before you actually get to choose what you want to watch. And I've never really liked that about DVDs because it seems so unnecessary. There's probably a technical reason for it, of course. Right, so Carnival of Monsters, and it's the same animation. And by the way, as you can no doubt tell, I am filming this directly from my TV screen, and yes, I'm really bad at lining up shots that have the screen straight, so apologies for that. Anyway, we are mainly here to have a look at the special features, and here they are. Making of documentary, always a pleasure. Behind the sofa, studio footage. Now that's nice, I like a bit of studio footage. It's really weird studio footage, isn't it? It's like looking inside this world that isn't supposed to exist, this behind the scenes world. It's quite odd. I mean, I suppose it can kind of ruin the illusion, potentially, but it's also just a really nice thing to have. Visual effects footage. A CSO demo. Colour separation overlay, is that what that is? Why are these things in my head? Why are these things in my head, and yet I can't remember what I did yesterday? Can you explain that? Episode 2 early edit. That's really interesting, isn't it? Revised ending. I wonder what is meant by that. BBC Trails and Continuity, photo gallery, and coming soon. Here is the Frontier in Space menu. Oh, lovely roundels. You gotta love those roundels. Okay, let's have a look at the special features for Frontier in Space. Making of documentary, behind the sofa, visual effects footage, nice. Ah yes, Roger Delgado tribute, because of course this was tragically the very last Doctor Who story that Roger Delgado appeared in as the Master. John Pertwee introduction, BBC Continuity, The Perfect Scenario Part 1, photo gallery, and episode 2 credits. Next disc. The menu for Planet of the Daleks. We're very familiar with this animation by now, so let's go straight to the list of special features. Updated special effects. I really like updated special effects, even if I don't always prefer them, which I suppose I very rarely do, but it's really interesting to see them, I think, regardless of whether you want to necessarily watch the whole serial with them on. How do you feel about updated special effects? I think there could possibly be a whole dedicated video to be done on this. I'd also like to bring you interviews with a couple of the guys behind the special effects, so watch this space. Okay, so we've got these special effects, making of documentary, behind the sofa, restoration featurette, interesting, stripped for action. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is at all. Sounds like a dodgy 80s movie of a certain variety. Blue Peter, BBC Trails and Continuity Commentary Extra. What's that? I don't know what that is. The Perfect Scenario Part 2. I don't know what the perfect scenario is actually. I'll tell you in a minute once I've done the research. Photo gallery and coming soon, which is no doubt a trailer for the Green Death. Let's have a look at the Green Death's menu. Straight to special features with us. Let's have a look. Wow, that's the most special features of the lot. Making of, Behind the Sofa, Keeping Up with the Joneses, The Unit Family Part 2, Visual Effects Featurette, Robert Sloman interview, Stuart Bevan interview, Wales Today, BBC Continuity, BBC News, Nationwide, What Katie Did Next, Global Conspiracy, question mark, and Global Conspiracy interviews. Oh, that's nice, a little bit of extended material there. Photo gallery and coming soon. Well, that's fantastic. And by the way, I checked up on what the perfect scenario featurettes were on the last 2 discs, and they were part of the Dalek War DVD box set, which previously came out, which coupled Frontier in Space with Planet of the Daleks. And it seems that they were a kind of, I haven't actually seen them, but they were kind of some kind of drama, some kind of there was some kind of fictional component to it, but it was also based around interviews with the actors from Doctor Who, so maybe it got a little bit meta. I look forward to catching up on that and taking a look. Let's have a look at the bonus disc. Bonus disc. Obviously this disc is nothing but special features and obviously subtitles. Let's have a look at the special features. Once again, that's a lovely array, isn't it? Doctor Who and the Third Man, that's the 90-minute documentary that I've shown you clips from. Blue Peter, Pebble Mill at 1, classic stuff. Death of the Doctor, episode 1. And Death of the Doctor, episode 2. Oh, that's the 2 Sarah Jane Adventures episodes. That's great that they're on here. That's really cool. The Green Death Omnibus. Oh yeah, that's the omnibus version of the Green Death. Obviously. Aren't you glad you got me here to explain these things to you? Season 10 Blu-ray trailer. Oh yeah. Is that must be the trailer put together by Benjamin Cook, and it's fantastic. It really reframes the whole thing. I like trailers that present familiar material in a new way, and that trailer really scores highly on that in that way. The Panopticon Archive. Now, I can't remember what that is, but I like the sound of it, let me tell you. Actually, let's just have a look and find out what it is right now. You and me. Let's do it. What is the Panopticon Archive? Oh, it's a whole thing. I thought it might be a menu unto itself. Aha, okay, so it's an interview, a live interview from an event. Of course, the Panopticon, the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Pertwee.
There's the man himself. Is he actually in Bessie? That looked like he was literally in Bessie there for a moment. Anyway, for copyright reasons, it's possible that I can't show you too much of this. So let's go back. Let's go back. That looks like a lot of fun though, doesn't it? Great. And then to round it off, there's an audio archive. Looks like a couple of interviews and studio clocks. Okay, I'm curious. Let's have a look at what that is.
20 seconds.
Oh, wow. Now that is a retro clock, if ever I saw one.
10, 9, 8.
So it's literally these clocks. Oh, you gotta love it. Yeah, it's possible this particular featurette is for the real clock-centric completist.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That countdown's making me feel quite stressed. I feel like I should be doing something before the countdown goes down to 0. But don't go away just yet, because I'm going to show you another clip from The Third Man, in which Matthew Sweet interviews Katie Manning.
When you arrived in Doctor Who, did you feel like you were joining a family of some sort? Did that become immediately apparent that this was the kind of environment that you were going to occupy?
Well, I had no idea what I was going into. I mean, I had been a great follower of John Pertwee's because radio was, for a very myopic child, one of the most exciting and important things, you know. So I knew who this wonderful man was. And of course, I didn't know Nick Courtney. I'd seen Roger Delgado in things, but I didn't know him. And because it was only my second job, I wasn't exactly little Miss I know everybody. It's like, who is this strange myopic woman with very, very thick glasses?
But how soon did you feel like you were in a gang?
Well, absolutely. The moment that I arrived, I'd learned everybody's lines, and John Pertwee came up and put his arm round and spoke to me. And then Roger introduced himself to me, and they were all so lovely. And then I met all the Havoc boys, and I started to feel this great comfort. And I felt this warmth and this welcoming from everybody. And from that moment, and then John and I started to talk in between shots. And then I got very upset because we were shooting in a circus with live animals. Well, that was already one of my... And John sort of raised his eyebrows and said, look what I've landed up with, you know. And, you know, with my big, thick glasses, he then started to hold my hand, take me, because I didn't know where I was running or going. And he became my champion. You know, he became my mentor. He taught me things. He told me stories. And so I think probably day one at the end, I was with the most wonderful, kind family that I could possibly have been blessed with.
Oh, ain't that nice? Now, I want to hear from you down there in the comments division. Have you got your hands on one of these gorgeous box sets? If so, what's your favourite thing about it? Either in terms of serials or special features. Actually, tell me both. Any criticisms about the box? That'd be interesting to hear. Get writing down there. I'm pretty sure that your favourite special feature is going to be the studio clocks, but it'd be interesting to have it confirmed. So I hope you've enjoyed this in-depth trawl through this delightful beast, and that you'll join me again next time for some more nonsense. On this coming end screen, I'm going to put a link to a Doctor Who playlist which contains all the Doctor Who themed videos I've done, including 2 videos on this season 10 box set alone. So take a look at that. I'll see you soon, and until next time, embrace your obsessions.
Something here that's always you.